Good morning. Let's fix the camera. All right. Ceiling fan at the top of the image. Oh, well. It's chilly. It's cloudy. In beautiful downtown Crestline, California, in the San Bernardino Mountains of Southern California's Inland Empire. And I got stuff going on. I got a notice from the county code enforcement. Whoops. And it just cites a code. And I tried to go online and find what the code says, but unless I want to spend $300 for a book, I can't look up the county codes. So I contacted the officer, left a message on the answering machine, and got a call back this morning. She was very nice, and of course I was polite. County official, code enforcement officer. Apparently, the weekender across the street doesn't like the mess in my yard, and I understand it is cluttered and so forth. But I don't understand why he complained about my cats. I don't have a million cats. I have 2 pets, and there's 3 ferals that eat here, and they're all spayed and neutered. There's 2 neighbors' cats that keep coming around to eat the food. I try to keep them out, but I can't leave the door shut all day long. My cats are indoor, outdoor, and besides, I need fresh air once in a while. Anyway, yeah, I already know. I was already cleaning things up. But oh well, now I have 30 days to get the job finished. Oh, Lord. What a day. What a week. What a year. It's been a little over a year since Snowmageddon, but I'm still digging out from the damage it did. I thought it would be for the 2-foot-tall weeds, but she didn't mention them. Cats? Well, you're supposed to have 4, and technically I have 5, but 3 of them are feral. They're not pets. I can't pick them up and hold them. They just eat here, and I did the responsible thing and got them spayed so they won't make kittens. Oh, well. So, it's chilly, it's cloudy, the sun is coming out finally, burning off the fog and mist. Hi, at Sequentia. Welcome in. Oh, boy. Meanwhile, I got more books mailed off to Zach, who will find people who want to buy them. I don't expect a lot of money for them. They're anthologies where I have either a story or an article. We'll see. But I did sign the first page of the story or article that I have in each book. And I'm having a devil of a time with the second murder mystery. This here is the first one. Murder Lies, a Lavinia Stout mystery. The detective, Lavinia Stout, lives in Twin Peaks with her cat. The next one will be Murder Bleeds, and it's a real tough one to write. And for some reason, during COVID and Snowmageddon, even though I was shut in the house most of the time, I just could not get the story going. Um, with murder mysteries, you kind of have to really pay attention to detail so that because your readers of murder mysteries are quick to notice problems where things don't actually follow, where you screwed up, much more so than in other types of novels. Let me grab my other novel. Oh gosh, when it's cold, my back kind of seizes up. It doesn't like to be used for walking. Okay, The Darkening of the Light. Now, I know that there are things in this that you might have a problem with, like the raccoon disappearing for most of the story. Hi, Witta. Witta's here. Welcome in. I don't know what's with YouTube. Yesterday, while I was watching YouTube, a video on YouTube, I tried to post a comment, but Google had signed me out, and I had to sign back in. And every time they do that, I lose all my secondary email addresses and I have to add them back in. Yeah, well, I don't know why YouTube has glitches, but I'm like, hey, I'm signed into Google and YouTube. Google owns YouTube. Why can't I just comment? Why do I have to sign in? And I learned that YouTube from time to time signs you out to make sure you're you. You have to sign back in with your password and everything. Hi, Annie Oakley. Welcome in. Oh, man, what a day. The hardest part, I think, of cleaning up my yard is going to be getting the trash hauled away. Well, the guy across the street is a weekender. And I understand my yard looks awful. But I want it clean for me, never mind the neighbors. It's just that so many things got destroyed in Snowmageddon that I'm going to have to get a ton of trash hauled away. And first, I have to gather them up and bag them or something. I don't understand why they're upset about my having cats. This isn't a big city, it's a rural mountain community. Oh, I saw Annie Oakley. Oh, she must have gone away. Oh, there she is, right here. Her name is showing up white, not blue. Witta. She has that pretty yellow sun icon on her posts. Anyway, yeah, 30 days is standard, and I'm looking for help wherever I can. I don't know. Anyway, Witta is what I think about. So we call her Witta. Anyway, still no news on the home insurance. Maybe I can find it on the mortgage company's website. But it's going to be financial Carmageddon for me. I could barely afford it as it was. And it's going to at least double and probably triple. Mm. Mm. Tora is snoring. She's sound asleep on her heating pad, even though it isn't turned on. I guess she likes the soft cloth. Chilly. Let me make sure my heating pad is on. No, it isn't. Oh, sorry, Tora. I didn't mean to wake you up. There, now Tora's heating pad is on low. Oh, Lord. Anyway, I don't know what to talk about. It looks like Vivek Ramaswamy might be buying BuzzFeed. He bought a little over, hiccups, sorry, a little over 7% of BuzzFeed. So, and their stock went up a bit. But apparently, BuzzFeed is in financial trouble. They just don't get much advertising revenue. Well, someone as wealthy as Vivek Ramaswamy probably can absorb some costs while getting the website in shape and more profitable. He's an example of why we need legal immigrants. His parents immigrated from India, and of course he was born here. They worked so hard, Vivek and his parents, to become successful, and it's possible in the United States to become successful through hard work and intelligent decisions. I got the double whammy, maybe the triple whammy. Worked my way through college, got an associate in foreign language, couldn't find work that I could take because I'd have to do a lot of travel, and I had a young child. It just wasn't going to work. Um, or I could get a job in another state, but I had to be sure that he could visit his father regularly. So I got a bachelor's degree in public relations, and then Reaganomics killed that line of work. Companies were shedding marketing, advertising, and public relations. So I went back and got a master's in English literature. Got a teaching job, got a bunch of teaching jobs, and made enough money to keep the car so I could go to work. Because I didn't have tenure and never did get it in 12 years, no tenure. Uh, and even those professors with tenure were not exactly wealthy. They were just getting by themselves. And I got out having borrowed a total of $15,000, but by the time I'd made payments on my student loans for years and years, I owed $35,000. So basically, I lost my house. I refinanced it, paid off the student loans, didn't have to keep sending them money every month. But then the crash of '08 hit and I lost the house. So I have my little cabin in the woods, uh, 20 feet by 20 feet. I like it though. I really do like this house. At Sequentia, just happened to see a YouTube video about Aleister Crowley, or he wanted to be called Crowley. Yeah, Crawley is more appropriate. And the demon he summoned in Morocco. Oh, yeah, it does resemble the principles of some modern philosophies. Has no form of its own and devours everything insatiably, just like Foucault's abominable teachings. Oh, poor Wit is having glitches. Sorry. Mm. Can't talk and type at the same time. Okay. Well, so much for my excuses for not being wealthy. I do not inherit anything from my husband's estate. In case you don't know, I was married to Philip K. Dick, author of Blade Runner, Minority Report, Total Recall, and many, many more. At least 30 novels and at least 150 stories. He also wrote some scripts for radio shows, the science fiction ones. Oh boy. So, I'm on Social Security. And at 1980s prices, I'd be well off. But today, $1,200 a month barely keeps me housed. Um, I'm on food stamps and Medicaid. Here in California, they call it Medi-Cal. Inflation is outrageous. In the 80s, I was living on 600 a month and thinking if I could just get that up to 800, I'd be solid, sustainable, middle class. Today, 800 a month would not keep me in my home. I have some equity, but I cannot borrow against it, partly because I don't have enough income, and partly because it would knock me off of the government aid that keeps me going, just barely. The food stamps are not enough. I spend cash for a few things, and I get as much as I can from local food banks. But the Medicaid pays the co-payments from my Medicare. I'm going to be 70 in a few weeks. About, about 4 weeks. Jeez, I don't feel 70 until I get up from my chair. My hair is gray, but not totally. It might look better if it were totally gray. I could be a silver-haired lady. I probably should get a haircut. I haven't had one since before COVID. And it's really, well, Witta, I don't know. I don't see Annie. She might have left, or at least left the chat. She posted only twice just to say good morning. Yeah, they claimed that last year's inflation was slightly less than 3%, but food cost at least 20% more. Uh, yeah, for some reason, her name, Annie's name did not turn blue, it stayed white. So it's hard to see. Oh well. What else is there to talk about this morning? Oh, I didn't get the rose bushes trimmed last fall, so they're way too tall. They're just starting to have flowers. Yeah, YouTube has glitches. It's been glitching on me something awful, even when I'm just watching videos. And they keep wanting me to subscribe to YouTube TV. I can get a free trial, but I can't afford to subscribe to anything. I'm saving up for a plumber. I'm I'm saving up for all sorts of things. And it's just I can't save up. I have to, I have other things going on. Oh, I wouldn't worry about it, Witta. Do not worry. Maybe she's blocked Florida. Who knows? Uh, yeah. Well, with Social Security for over 65, you can have some savings and some income before they start collecting taxes, but it isn't much. In fact, when I did my taxes this year, I found that if I had a net income of $10, I had to send $1 to the government. $10% income tax on $10? What if you make $10,000? What percentage is your tax then? Whew. And nobody can live on $10,000. I can't live on $1,200 a month. I have to sell everything I own and beg friends and family for money. And any unexpected expense will ruin me. Would have thought you had to have over 300. Well, last year you didn't pay taxes on income under 300. This year you do. Now that's net income after any deductions that you can take. But realistically, if you make 300, you might have deductions that I cannot take. There's earned income credit, which is actually refundable. Well, this was federal taxes. I have to file income taxes because the social services want to see my income taxes. They want to see a 1040 with my signature because I have these books on Amazon. I'm making maybe $25 a month on it, maybe 30 this year. We'll see. I did put another book on Audible and the Amazon audiobooks. It's I forgot what it was. It's it's a story that's included in my book, My Life on the Edge of Reality. I added it to that book because it was a little bit small for a paperback. And what's the title of it? Seasons. Seasons. Oh, hi, Larry and Creature. Welcome. Based on a series of dreams that I had and weird experiences with a doppelganger. It also includes black helicopters and a huge disaster. Mm. Mm. Wow. And the other audio book on Amazon and Audible is my collection of stories and poems. Quachi and other stories. Quachi is Quachi, and other stories and poems. And more typos. Letters left out. Because I didn't hit the keyboard hard enough, I guess. Quachi, the title and the inspiration for the story came from a documentary about some ancient ruins on the coast of Peru. So I wrote about a family bringing their offerings to the temple and praying for rain. I'm not giving away the ending, so there. Larry's gonna smoke one too. Yeah, it's just tobacco. I thought it was good, but the magazine of fantasy and science fiction turned it down. Oh well. They've turned down every story I ever sent to them. But that's okay. They don't pay that much anyway. It just would get my name out there. But in today's literary environment, I think the internet is a better place to go. Ah, boy. It's getting really hard. I have had some help with pulling weeds, but it's really hard for me to go through my shed and find all the things that got destroyed in Snowmageddon. You see, the wind tore the door off the shed. I couldn't do much about it when the snow was 4 feet high. So the rainwater and snow got into the shed and ruined a bunch of things. Breaks my heart to throw them out, but they're no good. They're destroyed. Oh, Etsy Quintia says I have an uncanny capacity for understating things that rivals that of the British. Well, that kind of figures. Most of my ancestors were British, but most of them were Celts. Scots, Irish, and Welsh. Oh, we'd have found the link to the audio book. Well, hi, Thikimoto. Good morning and welcome in. I'm better off than I ought to be after killing my back pulling weeds and cleaning things up in the yard and the driveway. But, I'll live. My back is not complaining as much as it ought to. I got itchies, man. And I do still blame a certain medication injection for all my itchies. Well, I'm not going to chill out too much, but might have a ride to the smoke shop. I'm on my last pack of cigarettes again, but I'm not sure I can afford a whole carton right now. Social Security comes in 8 or 9 days. Oh, Thikimoto loves my hat. Well, you see, I got this of all places, I got this at the gas station mini mart. It isn't as warm as some others because it's a loose knit. It has holes in it, even though you can't see them. But it hides the fact that I haven't brushed my hair this morning. Okay, what sounds like it has some good recipes at Sequentia? I'm missing something. I do have a very thin volume called a cookbook for the kitchen challenged by the kitchen challenged, and there will be a sequel, and I'm thinking I should include the text of the first book in the second one. If I can find the PDF of the first one, or better yet, the Word document. Hi, Love Bug. Well, welcome in and thank you for listening. The Love Bug was a movie about a Volkswagen Beetle, a car. He mentioned a book. I didn't see that. Thikimoto mentioned a book. I didn't see it. Oh, yes, at Sequentia, back when Disney still produced entertaining movies. They've ruined everything, and now they're trying, well, almost everything, and now they're trying to ruin Deadpool. I've never watched Deadpool, but I'm told that it's the only good movie they ever made. Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2, and they're trying to ruin Deadpool 3. Imagine the actress playing Snow White dissing the character and the original cartoon movie and the prince. Larry and Creature recommended a book called The Amphetamine Manifesto, so the joke was about cooking meth. Okay. Somehow I didn't see that post. Maybe one of my odds deleted it. It's okay. You're not being mean. You're not really cussing. So, Tsukimoto, your post is okay. Oh, I see. So that book is about a guy living in New York. How did I get brilliant? Am I brilliant, love bug? Well, I was born this way, I guess. Yeah. The number one rule here is be nice, and if you can't be nice, don't say anything. Oh, I won you over because I was married to Philip K. Dick. Sometimes I get tired of being known as the fifth ex-wife of a celebrity, but that's okay. I'm over it. He was amazing and apparently madly in love with me. But he had mental problems. He was very difficult to live with. Hi, Andrew. Welcome in. Good morning. Oh, wow. Yeah, Phil was a liberal Democrat, but he would not be a Democrat today. For one thing, he strongly opposed abortion, and he caught enough flack for it in the 70s. Oh, well, thanks, Tsukimoto. Well, enough people have dissed Phil in articles and online. And he had flaws, but everybody has flaws. I have flaws. Not going to tell you what they are. Andrew's going to travel to London and then Brussels. Well, say hi to the EU for me and tell them to knock it off. Oh, Love Bug came in late. Philip K. Dick, the author of Blade Runner, Minority Report, Total Recall, and much more. I married him. Oh, Larry's favorite is The Three Stigmata of Palmer Eldritch. That's a good one. I love the ending. It's like, yeah, we're all messed up, but after all, we're only human and we're doing the best we can. Something like that. Ah, it's getting sunshiny. I'm going to turn off the heater, save money on the gas bill. Uh, ah. No, my back feels okay, but my knees don't want to walk. Uh, I don't know what it is. I get these sensations on my mouth, and I have to wipe it with a napkin. I blame a certain jab. All that Larry and Creature have are a floor and a ceiling, no walls to hold up the ceiling. So he holds it up by force of will. Yeah, Phil was handsome. Okay, I have to tell the phone to be quiet. Do not disturb. Yeah, Phil said the government might be tapping your phone. Well, now your phone is spying on you. But if I'm ever accused of anything, I can say, just check Google. They know where I've been. My phone tracks me everywhere. Yes, we don't want to incur the wrath of the little g God by mentioning the reason I have itchies all over. Itchies and tickles. Mm. Uh, and my head especially. I'm popular. I, when I was in school, nobody would play with me. Nobody would be my friend when I was a kid. Turns out the parents disapproved of my family because dad was mom's second husband and he was my oldest brother's stepfather. Things were different in 1960. By 65 or 6, it was kind of fashionable that your parents never got married or they got divorced. In 1960, it was a scandal. And in junior high, I had no idea until it was time to sign the yearbook, and I didn't have a yearbook, but a couple of my fellow students insisted on signing a piece of notebook paper saying how glad they were that I was in the same class with them. But the whole 2 years of junior high, 7th and 8th grades, it included ninth grade, but mom switched me to a different school. I had no idea any. I had one friend. Well, I had two, but I dropped one. Grace was so day. She didn't want to do anything. She just wanted to sit there and not even talk. But through Grace, I met Sandy, who also dropped Grace for the same reason. And Sandy and I were friends for years, even after we went to different high schools. I've lost track of her. And do you have any idea how many Sandy Nelsons there are in the world? She married a man named Kelly, and there's a million Sandy Kellys too. And most of them are men. So I can't find her. I'd sure like to connect or reconnect. I lost track of Cheryl, my friend from later on in high school, because she just won't go online, and I couldn't afford the long distance phone calls. You know, with landlines, everything is long distance. I had the experience of calling someone uh, basically across the street, but they were on general telephone and I was on Pacific, so I had to pay a toll to call my neighbor. Anyway, now I have no idea how to find her because she just won't go on the internet. Oh, Thikimoto would have been my friend. but he wasn't born until 86. Well, I was kind of weird, but Sandy and I both loved horses. That's how we hit it off to begin with. Sequentia needs a loop-based algorithm that produces the following numbers in Python and scales up. I'm sorry, Sequentia, I'm not a coder. That isn't digital. I guess it could be the 16 base code. Have you tried the Fibonacci numbers? They're interesting. Thikimoto has face tattoos. Okay. My son has a tattoo, but it's mostly on his back, just a little on his arm. Oh, well, you're welcome, Sequentia. The Fibonacci series of numbers in graphics creates a spiral. And apparently, the spiral galaxies in our universe tend to follow the Fibonacci sequence. Might be a coincidence, might be something to do with physics. Who knows? By the way, my floor lamp is now in the kitchen because the kitchen lamp died. I could repair it, but it wasn't really practical for me to do that. And my neighbor recycles scrap metal, so I gave it to him. And now I have a little table lamp in the living room, but it does not reach the keyboard on my computer, so I have this portable battery-powered lantern that a friend gave me when it's too dark to see the keyboard. But during the day, like right now, there's enough sunshine through the window to see the keyboard. Sequentia says, Arthur C. Clarke wrote about the moment in the future when all telephone calls become local and international fees are canceled. Well, it might have been prophetic, except there are international fees. You can, if you're going abroad, you can contact your phone provider and arrange for, I forget what they call it, but you still pay to switch from like United States to England or France or Germany. Lovebug is clueless. Sequentia does coding. He's making a video game. And he wants input from people who know how to code, write computer code. I don't really know. At one time I knew BASIC, and then everyone was using COBOL, and then when I started learning COBOL, everyone was using something else. So I said, forget it. I can't keep up. Well, I've always been against tattoos because they used to be a way to identify slaves. But they're so artistic, many of them. I don't really mind now. I'm over it. Mm. Oh, wow. When I lean forward, it's to get a better focus on the chat. Uh, yeah, tattoos do hurt while they're doing them and for some time afterward. Yeah, voice to text can really screw you up. Maybe it wasn't official or sanctioned by the government. People had slaves. At least debt slaves for free servants. It's really debt slavery. Lovebug wants to know how the kitties are. I have enough treats for now, and they're just anxious to go out and play, but cat who comes over and tries to steal their food. He's an unaltered male. Great big cat. At least he won't pop out kittens, but he doesn't understand that these females are spayed and are not interested. I also have plenty of canned cat food and kibble, so I'm good for the month of June. After that, who knows? My PayPal account is dedicated to buying cat supplies from Chewy, and it is running low. I think I'm down to $50. And with the prices going up, that won't buy a whole lot. Yeah, tattoos probably go back a long, long way. Even Ötzi, the Iceman, had tattoos. The ancient body that melted out from the glacier in it was either Switzerland or Italy. It's hard to tell where the border is in the Alps. Ancient, frozen, basically mummy. He had tattoos. I had to speak to the code enforcement officer this morning before I came online, and she did have a complaint about the cats, but when I told her, okay, the limit is 4, and technically I have 5, but 3 of them are feral. They only eat here, they're not pets. And since they're all spayed, it's okay. They won't make kittens. Lovebug, my PayPal is in the links in the description. I have all my various links, including my Amazon gift wish list, and GoFundMe, and buy me a coffee. But it's the PayPal that I need to stock up. Make sure the cats are. The biggest expense sometimes is cat litter. but I'm okay on that for now. I have a 14-pound bag that I haven't opened yet. But those darn cats, when they're outside, they come in to use the litter box. They don't want to do that outside like I want them to. Well, Thikimoto, thank you. Wants to send me a couple bucks. That'd be awesome. Don't send any money if you can't afford it, and don't send more than you can afford. I'm not desperate yet. July's gonna be, I don't know. We'll see if maybe my books on Amazon make a little more. But that $25 a month does help to stretch my budget. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, the biggest problem was all the clutter in my yard. I thought they were going to say the weeds are really tall. They do become a fire hazard, but right now they're green. But even so, I have to clear them. And my yard is huge. But no, they were more concerned about the clutter. Well, where my shed got the door ripped off and things inside ruined, I have to drag things out and throw the destroyed things out in the trash. And then I can put the good stuff back in there. But first, I have to get the destroyed things out. So who knows? They gave me 30 days, and I hope that's enough time. Well, hi, Jan. Jan Miller is in the room. Welcome in. Oh, you saw my irises? Oh, yeah, I think last week on one of my live streams, I changed the thumbnail to my irises. That's a special one that I have in a pot. My yard is covered in plain old purple irises, the heirloom variety, the most common. But these are kind of special, and I forget what they're called. PayPal is always the fastest, Zikimoto, and you don't have to join PayPal if you use my PayPal Me link. If you don't have a PayPal account. But no huge hurry for now because, as I said, I'm okay for the month of June. And I think maybe the glitch in the food stamps is fixed. You see, I've had to, every month for the past 6 months, I've had to call them and ask them to please, manually give me the food stamps because their computer system has glitches. Now the tea is empty. I need tea in the morning to settle my tummy, coffee in the morning because I need the caffeine, and water in the morning, first and most important, because I'm dehydrated when I wake up. Water. Still have some coffee and a little water. Oh, these weird, we'll find out on the 5th of June. Meanwhile, FEMA gave our county a grant, the Federal Disaster Federal Emergency Management Agency. I think that's what they're called. They gave our county a grant to fix the damage from Snowmageddon, March of 2023. It actually started in late February and lasted at least a month because it takes so long for all that snow to melt. Kind of skipped over us last year. Yes, at Sequentia, water first thing in the morning is important, crucial, actually. That's true. Everyone is dehydrated in the morning, not just me. My older and smarter brother is giving up the CPAP because he gets so dehydrated from using that to sleep. It's affecting his health. I think he has an APAP now, but he's giving it up. Been using those things for years for sleep apnea. I guess he has something else he can use in. Oh, the Lions can't help me because I'm a member, but I can ask. The thing is, most of our Lions Club right now is older than I am, and I'm almost 70. And, I'm asking around, but the Lions, I should say, going to do yard sales anymore, but we need to sell off the donations that we have. Oh, thank you, Thikimoto. The donated items, we're going to try to sell them all. And what we don't sell will go to the thrift shop or something. We're also selling the yard sale shed, which is parked at a local business office. Don't know what's going on with Freeman at Sequentia. I haven't heard from him. Maybe he had his surgery, or I don't know. I hope he's okay and just can't type because of his shoulder. All right, let me do something here. Doesn't want to load. Okay, I'll go back to YouTube so I can see the chat. For him. Poor guy. I'll close that tab. Apparently my internet connection helping others. I joined Lioness, which no longer exists. It was technically a committee, a sub-club for women in Lionism, and the international organization decided to get rid of Lioness and make us all become Lions, which actually turned out to be a good thing because I've been bummed out, by the way, last September. I hope no more good people drop dead. They won't tell us what he died of, but I can guess. Enough of that. Oh, that one's empty. Purge, the plague of drugs entering our country. and desperate addicts ending up dead from fentanyl. Hi, Oswald. Welcome in. Meow. Good to see you here. Man, oh, the coffee's hitting the other end, so I'm going to have to take a brief break. But don't go away. I'll be right back. My back is okay, but my knees are stiff. Ah. Dum-dee-dum, dum-ba-dee-dum-dum-dum. Dum-dee-dum, dum-ba-dee-dum-dum-dum. Oh boy. Everybody loves a kitty, that's why I'm in love with you. Pretty kitty, pretty kitty. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a good kitty cat? My cats are all bad and they're big and they're fat. So Lord, won't you buy me a good kitty cat? I'm told there's no such thing as a good kitty cat. Like Roger Rabbit's girlfriend, they're drawn that way. Yeah, good point, Witta. She had more sympathy for drug addicts before she had to share a rental with them. Oh, yeah, when your knee is going poppity pop when it's bent, that's, they tell me it's not to worry about. They tell me that you've got air bubbles in the knee pad. I can't remember the scientific name offhand. It's a sack of water that cushions your knees. Yeah, cats are basically drug addicts. Hard to gain their trust and hard to get them to settle for just 3 cat treats. They want 3 million. Don't you, Smokey? Smokey Sue, you're a pest, Smokey. She wants too much attention. Yeah, they don't pay their rent, but sometimes they catch mice and small rats. One time in Garbage Grove, that's what we called Garden Grove, down in Orange County, California. Um, the cats brought home a rat along with the rat trap it was in. Apparently, people who did not have cats had roof rats. Well, eye itchies now. Wow, I'm over an hour in, an hour and 17. That's still empty. Roof rats, they're big black rats that like to live in your attic. Of course, I didn't have an attic. My ceilings were open beam, no ceiling, just the underside of the roof. But they'll live under your house. They'll chew through the walls to get in. They'll chew through your roof, and they'll even get inside the walls. Around here on the mountain, we don't have those big black rats. We have little kangaroo rats about the size of a mouse. And I have a small attic that's there simply to take the steam from the shower. And they have in the past gotten into it, but I don't have them now. The kangaroo rats are usually kind of yellow or white, sometimes light brown. There's a bird outside chattering. I'm going to have to study bird calls because I never see the birds. I just hear them and I want to know which birds they are. I don't know what kind. It might be a chickadee, but I'm not sure. It isn't singing, it's chattering. Which probably means that it senses a threat. Now we have Steller's jays, the blue jays that are a dark blue with a black head. They're gorgeous, but they're carnivores. They prey on smaller birds. We don't have parrots here, at least not yet. When I was in Orange County, there were wild green Amazon parrots everywhere because at some time in the past, somebody's parrots got loose and started having babies. Yeah, we had a lot of mockingbirds too. And, but not up here. I don't think so. We have robins and cardinals. We have a lot of birds of prey, hawks and eagles. Up in Big Bear, there's a famous pair of bald eagles. Around here, we see golden eagles and ravens and hawks. I forget the name of the species of hawks. Oh, red-tail hawks. Oswald says the language of the birds is postulated as a mystical, purpose divine language, Adamic language, Enochian, angelic language, or a mythical or magical language used by birds to communicate with the initiated. Well, I can't think of an example right now, but I know I've seen movies where the hero listened to the birds and the birds helped him. Yeah. Sequentia says, not sure if people who believe in that ever heard a crow shrieking. Oswald says it's also known as the green language. Oh, pigeons. And Oswald says they're antithetical to anything divine. Down in Orange County, where we had tons of pigeons, we called them feathered rats. They got into the eaves of our office building where I worked and nested there, and they ruined the roof. It had to be replaced after their nests were all knocked down. They didn't want to knock down the nests till the baby birds flew away. And when there's a big storm out at sea, the seagulls will come all the way in here to the mountains. And we even one year had pelicans in a small lake. Oh man, you guys do more reading than I do, and I'm supposed to read. I started reading Brave New World once. Didn't get too far into it. They made me read for college. The Communist Manifesto. It's called Know Thine Enemy. The order to read it. And you know, the book sounds like simply standing up for the rights of workers. But that isn't what communism does. I'm never sick of reading, but some books just don't catch my interest. That's the thing about Philip K. Dick. If I start reading something of his, I can't stop. He knows how to bring you in by hinting at something that you have to keep reading to see where the hint points, to see where it's going. For all the criticism, as far as style goes, I think I'm better. But, you know, and they claim his female characters were flat, but they were no more flat than his male characters. For all of that criticism, his stories are brilliant. I can only hope to come close, and I think I came very close with my novel, The Darkening of the Light. It's surrealistic. By the way, cover art by, oh dear, I keep blanking on the guy's name, and he's been so, here we go, Nick Buchanan, an Englishman who does this for me and refuses to charge a penny for these awesome covers. You probably can't see it, but right here is the face of a raccoon. I think I named him Cedric. I'm not positive, but he has a name. And he is in the story. To Marx's ideas are brilliant, but they're never carried out. I think it was sort of sham. to justify what really happens in communism. And at Sequentia says this ideology uses whatever it can to gain power. Yeah, you start with a class struggle between workers and capitalists, and then you end up with a bunch of elites hoarding everything while everyone else is struggling. I had years ago, after the Soviet Union fell apart or during their collapse, I had a pen pal in Estonia. He said he waited in line for 2 hours for shoes and they didn't have his size. His wife waited 6 hours for a sack of flour and they ran out before they got to her. And during the airlift where the US military was flying in care packages, I sent them a box of basically ordinary groceries. And they said they had never seen such food. Some canned peaches, box of better cheddar's crackers, you know, ordinary groceries, and they were thrilled and delighted. I think I included a can of salmon. If I'd been thinking, I would have included a sack of flour, but I didn't think of that. Now, I would not call myself, since you brought up politics, sort of, Marxism and mental illness, I'm not Trump deranged. I'll probably vote for him because look at the alternative. But I have some concerns about where this country's going. And whether it'll get any better no matter who gets into the Oval Office. The Republicans are saying, well, you have to make the two houses of Congress Republican majority, or else, just like the first time, they'll fight Trump. The Democrats will fight Trump on every issue. Well, half of the Republicans were fighting him too. See, Trump is not a real Republican. He's a lifelong Democrat who couldn't get the nomination as a Democrat because the top leaders of the Democrat Party choose who they want for their candidate. Apparently, this time they really did not want Biden, but they had to accept him because when a sitting president wants to run, you don't say no. But I'm really concerned about Biden. His health doesn't look that great, and besides, our economy sucks, and he keeps telling us how wonderful it is. It's okay if you happen to be invested in the stock market, but most working class people can't afford to do that. And yeah, maybe their retirement fund is invested, but that's pie in the sky. Yeah, we have Cinderella's stepsisters to choose from. Oh, as I said about Philip K. Dick, he was a liberal Democrat and he would not be a Democrat today. Yeah. By the way, at Sequentia Pravda, is the Russian word for truth. They call their propaganda newspaper the truth. You know how you can tell that a politician is lying? His lips are moving. And that goes for all of them. Republicans and Demoblicans. There are some individuals. We have one in California that I really like. He's in the House of Representatives. I suppose it's mostly because he's a local, lives in Big Bear, higher up on the mountain from my place, much higher. Hang on. Cat hair in my nose. Yeah, you cats. I didn't want cats. I wanted a dog. Oh, Smokey says, I'll be your dog. She's an attention hog. Yes, Smokey Sue. Now get off of me. Oops, not on Tora. Sorry. There, here you go. I'm sorry, Tora. I didn't mean to disturb your nap. Didn't realize she was there. RFK, well, I have serious problems with him too. RFK Jr., Robert F. Kennedy. But if he had a chance, I might vote for him anyway just because he's different. But I don't know. On the plus side, he was against a certain jab. But who knows? Sequentia, quoting a certain politician, we choose truth over fact. Well, you know, truth can be subjective, but facts are objective. I'm tired of people saying, oh, this is my truth. Yeah, well, truth is subjective. Science never establishes truth, it establishes the facts. Oh, don't sleep on my books if you don't want to fall off the bed, silly cat. It's actually a recliner chair. Yeah, I heard the brainworm story, some kind of parasite. Hey, don't chew my bubble wrap. Cats find bubble wrap irresistible. Smokey got into Tora's toy box. Tora had been ignoring it for months, and Smokey keeps pulling out the toys one at a time. I think maybe it's empty now. Sometimes she drowns the catnip mouse in her water dish. Sometimes she just rips its head off and pulls out its stuffing. It's kind of nice to have a cat playing with the cat toys. I don't know. I get to go through all of the things that got destroyed and find the precious things that are still good in my shed. It's a real story that Biden had brain surgery to remove something from his brain. I think it was a parasite. But that was long, long time ago. Decades, I think. Maybe it was a cancer or a tumor. I don't know, but it's real. Ah, would have posted a link from CNN. Okay. Oh, 09. Oh, May 9, 2024. I don't know. I do know Biden has had brain surgery. Oh, the lovely sound of trash trucks backing up. Beep, beep, beep. Every Friday morning. And Monday mornings too, even though they're over on a different block on Mondays. I should cut down on cigarettes. Oh well, I can buy a couple packs today, even if I can't get a whole carton. They're outrageously expensive in California. If I buy a pack, it's $12, but if I buy a carton, they're down to $9.50 a pack. Well, hi, Frank. Welcome in. Frank is in the time difference. Europe or Australia? Oswald likes his cigarettes like politics, unfiltered. Well, I need the filters. I don't like to get a sprinkling of tobacco in my mouth, and it does happen. Anyway, let's see. It's been an hour and 40. I'll be winding down soon. Last time, I think it was last Thursday, I just suddenly went down. It was not my modem. It was a brief power outage that shut down the computer and everything. And it turned out that the cat had walked on the surge protector. That I used to protect the computer from power outages. But I'm pretty sure the modem has a good charge today. Oh, that's the phone. Let me check the modem. Percent. I'm not going to go on too much longer. And everything that's useful turns into a pile of trash. Oh no, RFK had fogginess and memory loss. And a doctor helped to determine parasite in his brain? Ew. And he had some problem that resulted in his voice being ruined. It's really hard for me to listen to him speak. Her parents are from India. Maybe one of them is part black, I don't know, but she's not a part of the African cutting out. Looks good over here. Sorry. I guess I should get into politics. I guess the algorithm is checking up on me. I better type that too. We're at an hour and 45. I try to go 2 hours. Well, let's call it a day. Thank you all for being here, and have a great day. Second drunken. Oh, it's okay now? Well, I'll give you 5 minutes, I guess. Some of you just got here. This happens every time I mention politics. And I do notice. The algorithm hates me. But now it's 20 till. Let's see. Oh, I've been on for an hour and 47. Ah, boy. That one is still empty. Water. When you wake up in the morning and your mouth is dry, do not guzzle the water. Sip it. Guzzling will just give you a bellyache. Sip it until it's gone. Might take you an hour, but that's okay. Yeah, I don't want to get dinged by the gods of algorithm. Get knocked off for a week. 2 or 3 years ago, I think 3 years now, is permanent. It never expires. So I always have one ding on my channel. I will be getting back to, but I can't focus on the kitchen right now because I have to clean up the yard. Yeah, we can always talk books. That's true, Witta. Although we were skirting the edges when I brought up the Communist Manifesto. Oh well. I didn't say William Burroughs, but I did say Brave New World. Maybe I'd be happier if Soma really existed. I think he was really talking about heroin. See you, Oswald. I'm just going to wind down by George O'Year. So I might as well call it a day. I'm hungry. Soma. Yeah. Anyway, I really am winding down anyway. and hungry. She get rid of a lot of trash. Oh, okay. In the evening, I've done that a couple times in the past week. I have a hard time staying up.